moving on to college football, Brett, and funny timing actually as the score just went final. Northern Illinois did win 33-27 in overtime, meaning my Huskies minus 1.5 pick from last episode does cash, did end up having a winning episode. We're starting a new trend around here.
Look at us, baby. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I hope you can carry that over into Saturday, Higgins.
I really hope so, and I'm starting off with a homer pick though, so we'll see if this is just love lost or if it's actually a smart pick. But Syracuse is traveling to face off against North Carolina State, and Syracuse needs to win one more game to be bowl eligible. I don't need to tell you this, Brett, you know, but they have a tough next two games. It's North Carolina State and Pitt, two ranked teams. So can Syracuse be bowl eligible? I'm not confident, but they've been fantastic at covering the spread all year, and I think they're going to keep these games very competitive. And so, this being an 11.5 point spread right now, I think Syracuse might be able to keep this under 10-point game. So, I'm going to be taking the Orange as underdogs here, plus 11.5 on the spread. I really like this pick. Sean Tucker, his tweets every week. Last week's tweet was a little shorter than most. I think we're going to see a big game from that running back in Orange. What do you think?
Yeah, I am definitely hoping they keep it within this 11.5, Higgins. Obviously a big fan here. In my background, you see the Q stuff. So, go Q's, and I love the pick. So, no complaints here. And look, I hope Schrader outperforms Leary, and that'll be a big key to the game. If Tucker can run the football and be successful there, control the clock, those will be things that'll help Syracuse cover this big number.
If I'm being honest, the early bird probably got the worm there, right, Brett? That's a line that we both like, but for the Pillars, you're probably staying away.
Um, I'll be honest. I've loved Syracuse on the trend all year. I caught on at I guess I was kind of joking, right, when it was like
Yeah.
3-1 on the year. And you're just like, well, just keep that Cuse against the spread. And it just kept on hitting and hitting and hitting. And, the truth is, Higgins, I'll probably splash on it on game day and jinx you. But, that's just what I do. I'm a good friend.
I understand it. Just one of the transparent pillar warning signs in case
Yeah,
that there were any.
yeah, when you get a text Saturday, well, you'll be asleep, but when you get a text Saturday morning, like, hey, sorry about the Q's game, I gave you a warning on Wednesday night.
Well, I'll probably be up. That's a 1 p.m. start time game for me. The game I might miss that I really like or would be my excuse to get up early for, Brett, is number 7 Michigan State at number 4 Ohio State. This is a 9 a.m. start time for me, a noon game out there, and this should be a primetime game, I think, Brett. I'm really surprised that this is an early game.
Yeah, I feel like I'm wrong on this, but for some reason it just sticks with me that like there's something about no nighttime games in the Big Ten, like late in the season or in November or maybe like in October and November. There's like some old tradition there, Higgins, that they just like stick to. So yeah, you get Michigan, Ohio State every year at noon. Sometimes you get these big time number 7, number 4 games at noon on Fox. So it's a little odd, but you're right. This one is going to be an exciting game and obviously big playoff implications here.
There are some big playoff implications. There are some Big Ten championship implications with this game. There's a lot riding on this game for both teams' futures. The line's sitting at 19.5 right now, and I maybe maybe it's just a trend that I just fade the Buckeyes a lot, but I think that the Spartans defense is going to be able to at least withhold that Buckeyes offense to keep them from getting to that 45, 50 plus mark, and it's going to be able to be kept within this 19 and a half. Do the Spartans necessarily win? I hope so. I'll probably find myself sprinkling on the money line closer to Saturday, but as of right now, I'm just taking the spread plus 19 and a half.
Yeah, I think that's a big number, Higgins, so I'm with you. That's the side I'd want to be on, but um, I don't love the Michigan State side either, so that's why I'm not on this game myself. But I again, I agree. I just think 19 and a half. I don't really believe Ohio State is 3 touchdowns better than Michigan State.
And we talk about against the spread records. Michigan State's 7-2-1 this year. They've been pretty good at the book as well. They've been cashing it for the bettors. I'm going to jump on this train again. I liked them when they showed up against the Wolverines. I picked that one on the money line. That was a different game. That was in Spartans territory. This one is in Columbus plus 19 and a half. I'm just going with spread right now. Who knows though? Check out on Twitter. Maybe I'm sprinkling on the money line come Saturday.
Fair enough. All right, Higgins, I'm going over to the Big 12. Kansas, coming off their huge victory against Texas, takes on TCU. TCU minus 21.5 at home. I think this is a huge letdown spot for Kansas, which is kind of hilarious. Like, who would have even thought Kansas would have a letdown spot this year? But Kansas, this game doesn't matter, Higgins. They beat Texas. Like, who cares what they do the rest of the season? They beat Texas.
They beat Texas. That is true. That was a massive game. You and I have friends that were at that game. I was watching and keeping aware of that game mainly because they were there. I didn't expect Kansas to keep that game close, and they outright won it. It was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. They got the walk on, never played offense, catching the game winning touchdown, doing NIL spots. Good for him. Get your money. But Higgins, they're still partying in Lawrence. So this 21.5, I think TCU covers this pretty easily.
Yeah, those football players probably aren't really that anxious to leave Kansas so quickly and travel back into the state of Texas. I mean, they did just win, but they'd like to enjoy being in Kansas probably a little bit longer. Wish this game was probably at home, I imagine.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I feel pretty good about that one.
Absolutely. You and I also like some night games, though. Brett, SMU at number 5 Cincinnati. Cincinnati did have a scare a couple weeks ago. They only won by 8. They were having this time where they weren't necessarily getting their wins by as much as they should. They need to run through some teams. They're at number 5. Maybe this is also just part of my prayer that Ohio State loses and isn't in the college football playoffs and that Cincinnati is in. I want to see Cincinnati in the college football playoffs this year. So I want to see them win. I don't want to just see them win, though. I want to see them dominate and force their way into this conversation. Minus 10.5. They need to easily cover this.
Yeah, they kind of need an impressive win on their resume, Higgins, so that would definitely be helpful. And our last game on the Saturday slate that we're going to go through, Tech at Miami. Higgins, it's my favorite trend, the fired coaching trend. Tech fires Justin Fuente on, they fire him Wednesday morning, Tuesday morning, something like that. And look, they take on a Miami team, Manny Diaz. He's on the hot seat himself, Phil Higgins. Miami unsure if they're going to have their quarterback, Van Dyke. So, look, I'm going Vatek here. Fired coaching game, plus 7.5. 5-1 on the year against the spread in fired coaching games, Higgins. Or that's what the trend is. I'm 4-1. I stayed off the Gruden game, but it's been a hot trend.